Hi, I'm the Guitar Trooper, YouTube's favorite old guy. Hey, here's something you can do for fun the next time that you're in a gathering of folks over 60. Mention the Monkees. Then get your drink, sit down, and watch the fun. Just saying that at any over the age of 60 gathering is practically guaranteed to spark a conversation in one of two directions. Either love or hate. And then comes the discussion of, were they actors that learned to play, or were they players that learned to act, or well, it turns out that it's somewhere in between those two things, but it tends to lean toward the latter more than the former. True, the Monkees' first hits were written by professional songwriters housed in the Brill Building in New York, and then played 100% by contracted studio musicians. As a matter of fact, the background tracks for the first batch of songs for the Monkees TV show were done before the four-member group was even recruited. This tactic wasn't just for quality control, it had to do with efficiency. Due to the looming production timeline for filming the premiere season's episodes, there was no time to allow the Monkees to gel as a musical group. It also had to do with the series' musical director Don Kirshner's production sense and his desire for micromanagement of the group as a commodity within the total production design, which included also assuring royalties to his Aldon music writers in New York, who were experiencing dwindling demand for their compositions in the wake of the British invasion. This was the point at which Mike Nesmith and Peter Tork, the two most musically inclined Monkees, began to resent their assigned low-level participation in the recordings. And that angst only increased as the first season of the show progressed and became a smash hit in 1966. Once the boys were under contract, they were to simply walk into the studio, don headphones, place a lyric sheet on the stand, and sing the arrangement as directed. But that routine didn't remain in place, did it? On Pleasant Valley Sunday, the group's fourth top 10 hit, was there a Monkee playing even one note? Stick around. You may be surprised. Our story begins in 1965 at 15 Waddington Avenue, West Orange, New Jersey, the new home of the hit songwriter duo Carole King and Jerry Goffin. With the royalties from the hits that they had written since 1960, among them including payouts from Will You Love Me Tomorrow, Take Good Care of My Baby, Up on the Roof, and many others, Jerry and Carole establish a life in the New Jersey suburbs. Before long, though, the atmosphere of the implied materialistic competition of suburban living begins to wear on the couple. Being songwriters by trade, a song berating the realities of suburban living begins to take shape. Right off the bat, Jerry Goffin, the lyricist of the pair, needs something on which to focus the theme of the lyrics. But West Orange just doesn't seem to have any poetic appeal. He needs something else. A park name or even a street name would do for this purpose. Thinking about their surroundings, the first main road just west of their home has the poetic-sounding name of Pleasant Valley Way. That will work. A set of lyrics comes about under Jerry's hand, and Carole assembles chords and a melody with an upbeat tempo. The name of the song will be Pleasant Valley Sunday, intended to be an expose of the activities that they had observed in their neighborhood. Carole records a demo in the studio, but it is shelved. In 1967, the song will be recorded for use in a TV show, as well as being sold as a single on Cold Gems Records. It's the end of 1966. December 23rd to 31st, to be exact, the Whiskey A Go-Go Club, Los Angeles, California. Playing the 9-day holiday gig are Iron Butterfly and the Turtles. Mike Nesmith, having become increasingly frustrated during the first TV season with the Monkees' reputation as a manufactured band, is staking out musical venues in search of an outside producer that can help them break loose of that legacy and begin recording as a self-contained band. Mike had known Chip Douglas, the Turtles' bassist, since they had met at the Troubadour Club in the past, and Mike asked Chip if at some time he would be interested in working with the Monkees as a producer. The time isn't right yet, but it won't be long before an opportunity presents itself. It's February 1967, Los Angeles, California. Offices of Raybert Productions, the corporate owner of the TV show The Monkees. After a controversial incident regarding the unauthorized distribution through RCA in Canada of the Monkees' third top 10 hit, a Neil Diamond composition entitled A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, that musical director Don Kirshner had done on his own volition in New York with only Davy Jones singing the lead vocals, a flurry of activities culminates in Kirshner's summary dismissal as musical director of the TV show The Monkees. With Kirshner no longer in charge, the Monkees are now free of his imposition upon the musical direction of the group, and also free of his restrictions regarding their contributions to the Monkees' music. Chip Douglas accepts Mike Nesmith's proposal and leaves the Turtles to become producer for the Monkees. A new album, Monkees Headquarters, is recorded with producer-musician Chip Douglas at the helm, and it includes songs written and played by members of the band, with some parts being supplied by studio musicians. The album, released May 22, 1967, produces only one single, Mike Nesmith's The Girl I Knew Somewhere, and it was sung by Mickey Dolenz. It is never issued as an A-side, but makes it to number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100 as the B-side to the de facto Davy Jones solo top hit, A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, which is a respectable showing for a B-side, but still at the outer edge of the top 40, not anywhere near a top 10 single. On April 26, 1967, though, well before the May 22nd release of Headquarters, the Monkees already are working on songs for another new album to be entitled Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. And this one is to produce the fourth top 10 single of the Monkees' career. It's June 10th, 1967. RCA Studios, Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 12 noon. Producer Chip Douglas is conferring with Mike Nesmith about an opening guitar riff for the song to be recorded today, a song written by the King-Goffin duo called Pleasant Valley Sunday. After hearing Carroll's demo, Chip envisions a guitar hook, much like that on the Beatles' 1966 record, I Want to Tell You. After a few minutes of noodling, Chip comes up with a sequence that is unique, but also captures the essential feeling of the George Harrison riff in I Want to Tell You. Mike Nesmith, an accomplished guitarist, picks up the riff easily in a few minutes on his customized 1954 Black Beauty Les Paul, just gifted to him as an early anniversary present by his wife, Phyllis, and then practices that riff until he can deliver it as a smooth sequence. They decide that they are ready to do take one, with Mike on his Les Paul plugged into 3 Vox Super Beetle amps, Peter Tork on piano, Chip Douglas on bass guitar, and Eddie Ho on drums. Mickey Dolenz plays rhythm guitar on an acoustic. The next day, they are back in the studio when Mike overdubs a second electric guitar part. Bill Chadwick, who had recorded so often with the group that he had earned the title of the Fifth Monkey, performs a second acoustic guitar track, and Eddie Ho adds shaker and conga overdubs. Tuesday, June 13th. With the background instrument track now complete, it's time to do the vocal overdubs. Chip selects Mickey, who had already established himself as a unique and competent vocalist, to sing lead, and Mike will provide lead vocal doubles and harmonies. Peter and Davy provide harmony echoes. Also, although it's not specifically documented, there is a suggestion that Chip Douglas participates in background singing on the track. Pleasant Valley Sunday is now a complete recording, but Chip doesn't want the song to just fade out unceremoniously, as he feels that the song needs more tension at the end. To accomplish this, he decides to have engineer Hank Chicalo gradually push the reverb mix to the max setting during the runout, causing the output to dissolve into an unrecognizable psychedelic din. Pleasant Valley Sunday is released in July of 1967 and peaks at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song is also featured in 6 episodes of the Monkees' weekly television show, which undoubtedly boosts its sales and chart ranking. Carole King and Jerry Goffin divorced in 1969. Carole King, born Carole Jean Klein, continued with a solo career. She published 25 solo albums, and her total record sales are somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 million copies. Over her career, Carole wrote or co-wrote 118 Billboard Hot 100 songs. She is in her 80s now and lives in New York. After the divorce from Carole, Jerry Goffin worked with other composers, including Barry Goldberg and Michael Masser. That was the team that wrote these hits.
Where you going to? Do you like the things that life shows? Saving all my love for you.
Jerry was responsible for over 114 Billboard Hot 100 hits during his career. Both he and Carole were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. Jerry Goffin died on June 19, 2014, at the age of 75. Well, try as he might, Chip Douglas, birth name Douglas Farthing Hattelid, could not win over the Monkees' image in the popular press of not being real musicians nor being a serious band. In 1969, Chip produced his then-girlfriend Linda Ronstadt's first solo album, Hand Sewn Homegrown, after her work with the Stone Poneys. You know, as long as we're on the subject of Chip Douglas again, it is interesting to note that he elected to change Jerry Goffin's original Pleasant Valley Sunday lyrics in the bridge. This made the escape from the suburban materialism less emphatic in the Monkees version than it seemed in the original lyrics. It was also done with what one might term artistic license, which is not terribly unusual, but typically done with conference of the lyricist. And Chip didn't confer with Jerry about that change. Chip's version was only 6 lines instead of Jerry's 7, but the most meaningful change was the removal of Jerry's last 2 lines, "I don't ever want to see another Pleasant Valley Sunday." The change infuriated Carole King, who declared openly that she was not fond of the Monkees' version. Chip is still involved with writing and producing, with his time divided with living in Hawaii and California. After the final version of the Monkees without Peter Tork as a trio went away in 1970, Mike Nesmith, sole heir to his mom's liquid paper fortune and the admitted curmudgeon of the Monkees, continued a solo career billed as Michael Nesmith and the First National Band. The act had some success, notably with their second single called Joanne in 1970. He branched off into producing and working in the entertainment industry and briefly toured in 2012 with Mickey Dolenz and Peter Tork in the Monkees Revisited act, and also toured with Mickey Dolenz until 2018. Robert Michael Nesmith died December 10th, 2021, of heart failure. The King Goffin lament of suburban living, Pleasant Valley Sunday, was the Monkees' last top 10 hit of 1967, and 3 of the guys played instruments on it. And it is also poignant to mention that when Carole King performed that song live in 2005 for her album Welcome to My Living Room, she sang the Chip Douglas version of the chorus. I suppose that sometimes you just can't argue with success. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do me a favor and click on the like, thumbs up icon and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You can also use comments to suggest video subject matter regarding pop music and pop music culture between the 1950s and the 1970s. A great thing that you can also do to support the channel and the Facebook page is just sharing the video with your friends. Just click on the arrow icon and pick the destination person and help us expand the audience. Speaking of supporting the channel, this would be a great time to subscribe on YouTube if you're not yet a subscriber, or if you're watching this on my companion Facebook page and not yet a follower, start following the Facebook page. It's easy and it's free, and it lets YouTube and Facebook know that you support the channel. Just click on the follow button on Facebook or subscribe on the YouTube channel main page, or click on the big purple icon that's going to appear at the end of this video, and be sure to select the top notification notification bell on the drop-down menu that appears so that you will be notified whenever I post new content for the public. If you would like the opportunity to see the content on YouTube a few days earlier when it is viewable only to channel members, you can upgrade that subscription and become one. Just click on the join icon and follow the instructions. It's not a free thing to upgrade a YouTube channel membership, but it's as dirt cheap as YouTube would let me make it. Thanks again for watching.